Hello there. I am Linda Schiller-Hanna. This is Inner Keto segment 94. This is going to be a little bit of a triggering video, so if this is too tough for you, give yourself permission to change the channel. It might have no intention to make your pain worse. But today I want to talk about some of the core underbelly of those of us who have gotten into a pattern of food abuse, overeating, stuffing, eating to the point of excessive weight. As the pounds peel off with the keto food plan, which worked incredibly well for me, this uncovers feelings. And if you've come from a family, a home, a growing up situation, wherever it was, whatever it was, that made you feel not enough, that had some level of abuse or neglect or abandonment or trauma or all of the above, well, this can be your home base, because I hear you, I get it, I've had it. This morning I was re-exploring some of the patterns that I've had to work through over the years in therapy since I was 16. So we're talking about 60 years of therapy, some kind, and worked hard on this to get here. Hope you don't have to work that hard or that long. But I'm going to unpack for you 4 thoughts I had that I've had to work out, and see if you can relate to some of these. And please forgive me if this is too upsetting. You really can go if it is. I had an attitude of excuse me for living. Excuse me for the space I take, the air I breathe, the food I eat, that I even exist in this world. Ouch. First of all, I was born out of wedlock, or practically conceived out of wedlock, by parents who'd come from the Depression, who'd had severe childhood starvation, neglect themselves, who were immature emotionally, who were not ready to be parents on any level. About 10,000 of you probably raising your hand right now, maybe 100,000, maybe 1,000,000. If you're really honest, you may have come from a home of emotional deprivation, financial deprivation, love deprivation, being wanted deprivation. That's a tough one. And yet we're here. We got here for some reason. I think the universe wants us. I think the universe needs us. I think we have some value beyond what our parents could conceive of when we were little bitty babies. I know I do, and I know you do. But it took me a while to figure that out. So I'm going to say some of the nameless, shocking messages that came between the lines that were subtly communicated to us, or not so subtly, whether it was physical abuse, neglect, yelling horrible things at us, daddy says you ain't his child, whatever. And we just took it on as little bitty babies or little bitty kids, these impressionable little sponges that said, I'm not enough, I don't deserve anything, I don't even deserve to eat, oh my God. Sorry, gang. I'm going to give an affirmation for that one, an antidote. I'm a child of God and deserve love, joy, safety, happiness, and to feel I belong. I do belong. I'm going to repeat it. I am a child of God and deserve love, joy, safety, happiness, and to feel I belong. I belong. I deserve to be alive. Here's another one. In my days of dating after my first divorce, because I married the first guy that came along, so it didn't happen in the earlier on. But after my first divorce, when I started dating, the minute I met a guy, I would instantly hand him my leash. It was like I had a leash around my neck, like this little baby doll. Here, you take over. You determine if I'm worthy of being loved. Here, you figure it out. I don't know if I have any value, but if you don't call me, I'm a piece of garbage. If you don't come back, I wasn't ever worth living. I hope none of you have felt like this, but I'll bet a lot of you have. Handing your power over to a total stranger that you've known 20 minutes. You discern my value. That's crazy. Don't do that. The fact that I'm saying out loud, it's so taboo. I don't know if you've ever heard anyone say this out loud or even mention this, but I'm telling you, I'm saying it out loud because I felt that way for years. I just took that damn leash off this little girl. She is a child of God, and she doesn't need to hand her power over to anyone. We're going to give her a hug. We're going to give her a little bear. We love you, sweet little Linda. And you don't have to hand your leash over to anyone. You have agency. So she gets to sit up here in safety. Here's an affirmation for her and for you and for me. I am a child of God. I deserve to have agency over my own life, decisions, and value. I am a child of God. I deserve to have agency, control over my own life, decisions, and value. If this sentence feels strange, write it down. Write it down 1,000 times. Use it as an affirmation day after day. Look in the mirror and say it. Start turning that dial back to normal, healthy self-love. Especially if you've gotten triggered and you want to go into the chips or the sugars or the sodas or whatever it is that gives you instant comfort, start with yourself. Start with true self-love. The next one is this. I was in therapy in my mid-20s, and I mentioned some kind of guilt feelings I had, and my therapist said, Linda, you have more guilt over accidentally stepping on someone's foot with your shoe than a death row inmate has over killing someone. Your guilt is incredibly out of proportion. So here's my affirmation for that. I am a child of God. Everyone makes mistakes, and I easily forgive myself for minor infractions. I'm a child of God. Everyone makes mistakes, and I easily forgive myself for minor infractions. I also had a girlfriend in New York City. Her name was Meryl. She's quite a smart lady. And I would go visit her sometimes. She had a beautiful apartment. I would give her readings, and she would show me around the city. We had some good times. And I remember saying to Meryl one day, Meryl, maybe I don't give enough. And she says, Linda, you could choke a horse. You could choke a horse. Here's a little horse painting I did years ago. I am sufficient as I am. I give enough. I am enough. That's some affirmation for you. I am sufficient as I am. I give enough. I am enough. I know that these were hard things to hear, but if something pinged for you and, oh, kind of relate to that, kind of feel like that, pay attention. Start doing some non-dominant handwriting. Hey, little Linda, what's going on in there? Well, I feel really scared. I feel like nobody listens. I feel like you don't pay attention to me. Or show up in some of these growth groups I've been recommending. I have my Monday night Pete Walker group. We talk about PTSD. You can still join that on my website, innerkidketo.com. It's only $10 a month. We meet on Zoom, 8:30 Eastern. I don't have to be your go-to for all your solutions, but I could at least be your reminder, your friend, to say, hey, if something's going on, you deserve help for it. If you're overeating because of too many feelings, too many painful feelings, that deserves help. That's like you had your foot run over by a Mack truck and you're limping and bleeding and you say, oh, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. No, you're not. Get some help. It's so much easier to get help for something that's bleeding or over, broken arm hanging loose. But when your feelings are bleeding and hanging loose, and all you do is self-medicate with booze, alcohol, drugs, or food, people just blame you and say, you're weak, you're dumb. They shame you. Don't let them shame you and don't shame yourself. But do man up, woman up, and walk yourself into a place who gets it, hears you, believes you, cares about you, and helps you turn that pattern around. Our culture is not gentle with folks with trauma issues, feelings issues, child abuse issues. We are a cold culture in that regard. Mexico is much more gentle with their families than we are. Believe me, I healed a lot just living in there for 3 years. It was a much more caring place. Some cultures extremely cold. I was friends with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who the author of On Death and Dying, and Switzerland can be tough. She was a doctor, but during World War II, she went off to help the Red Cross, to help starving people and people who were in death camps, whatever she could do. But she was a young girl. She was only 19, 20. And when she came home, I don't know if she was a doctor yet, but when she came home, her dad slammed the door in her face. She had gone against his will. She went on to become a world-class, brilliant influencer, one of the 100 most influential people of the 20th century, with her books on death and dying and the work she did with AIDS. She overcame that crap. You may have to overcome that crap. I'm overcoming that crap. You come out of too much harshness, that hurts. Get help. Love yourself. Okay? We're not going to blame ourselves too much if we step on someone's foot. We're not going to hand our leash to someone because they took us on one date. We're not going to hate ourselves because we made a tiny mistake. Oops. We're coming back to balance and to love. This is enough for today. I know this has been a hard session, but we got to get down to it, folks. Feel free to email me at linda@lightworker22 or innerkidketo.com. There's a place you can email me. My system, I think, has been broken all this time. I haven't gotten one email or one sign up for my group. If you're not getting through my system, please email me at my other site, linda@lightworker22.com. That one works, and we'll work out the snafus. You matter. I care about you. Have a great day. Linda Schiller-Hanna signing off for today. Bye-bye.